before we get into anything though, subscribe. It's gonna be a card. Click that, drop down, subscribe. Click that, boom, you set. Notification bell, turn it on, you great. Oh my goodness, let's get to it. What's up YouTube, it's Jay Blanco and I'm back with another reaction video. But today we got the most inappropriate full body searches of people caught on camera. Like, you know how them guys be when they get like too physical, when they frisking you and all that. So we gonna get right into this video. That's shit crazy. Cops be doing too much with these stops and frisking.
An Indiana woman sued the Floyd County Jail in New Albany following her lawyers obtaining a video of police officers forcibly undressing her and locking her up, completely naked, in a cell full of pepper spray for 7 hours. On March 30th, 2014, Tabitha Gentry, a mother of 4, was detained by a police officer for disorderly conduct and resisting law enforcement, both misdemeanor charges. In the disturbing video, it shows Gentry in a jail cell with 4 officers. 2 of them are male. After Gentry tries to stand up, the officers take her to what the jail called a padded room. Almost immediately upon entering the jail, she's assaulted by 4 officers. They grab her around the neck, they grab her body. They hold her down and they forcibly remove her pants, her shoes, her underwear, and her shirt and bra. Terrified and humiliated, she's banging on the door, asking someone to give her her clothing, and someone comes to the door and says, "If you don't shut up, I'm going to pepper spray you." And sure enough, they open the door, spray pepper spray into the room, and they leave. They leave her in there, naked, in a cell filled with pepper spray.
That's crazy. That is crazy, yo. That is crazy. What?
A Utah woman is suing the city of Layton after she says she was wrongfully arrested for DUI and groped by a responding officer. On July 25th, 2016, Amanda Houghton was on her way to get her son's medication when she was rear-ended at a stoplight. After checking that the other driver was okay, she called 911 for police assistance. Instead of getting medical help, the Layton police officer who responded to the accident began accusing Houghton of being intoxicated. Doctors later discovered she had a concussion from the car crash. Houghton was made to undergo a field sobriety test, which she failed, and was immediately arrested. After the officer handcuffed her, he then proceeded to pat her down for a body search, all of which is seen on dashcam video. She was charged with a DUI, despite blood and urine tests later revealing she didn't have any drugs or alcohol in her system.
That's crazy. Don't let these people get you like that. Don't let them get you like that.
On October 20th, 2006,
turn this
in
down a
Stark
little
County,
bit. Don't
Ohio,
let them never get you like that.
41-year-old Hope Steffi was the victim of assault by a relative. Steffi's cousin called 911 and a Stark County deputy arrived on the scene. It is believed that Steffi accidentally handed over her deceased sister's license, which she kept for sentimental reasons. She immediately noticed the mistake and gave the officer her own identification and asked for her sister's to be returned. The officer refused to return her sister's license. The officer ran a check on Ms. Steffi's license and found no infractions, but continued to treat her as though she were the perpetrator of the crime instead of the victim. Steffi states she begged for the return of her sister's license until one officer lost his patience and shouted, "Shut up about your dead sister." The officer threw her face down on the hood of his patrol car, chipping one of her teeth. Although Miss Steffi's cousin repeatedly reminded the officer that Steffi was the victim and had been knocked unconscious in the previous assault, the officer handcuffed Steffi and put her into the back of his patrol car, refusing her medical care. Hope Steffi was then taken to the county jail and forcibly strip-searched by 6 to 7 male and female deputies, despite Stark County's own policy, which states that a strip search must be conducted by a same-sex officer. Steffi's attorney alleges she was never asked to remove her clothes voluntarily and that she had to resort to wrapping herself in toilet paper in order to cover herself and stay warm overnight. When she was booked, she was allegedly given only a vest to clothe herself with. She was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest.
Yo, this shit get me so tight right now.
In May 2013, a woman was arrested on a DUI charge and brought into a county jail where a security camera captured 4 sheriff's officers, 3 men and 1 woman, stripping off her clothes before leaving her naked and alone in the padded cell. Video footage shows 33-year-old Dana Holmes standing hands up against the wall in the LaSalle County Jail as she was patted down by a female deputy. Without audio, it's unclear what occurred to provoke what happened next, but the 2 male cops flanking Holmes grabbed her arms and put her face down on the ground. Another male officer joined them, and the 4 authorities carried her into a cell. Holmes says at the time she was afraid the officers might come back in and rape her. One of the deputies throws a blanket in the cell a few minutes later. More than an hour later, still inebriated since she was 3 times over the legal limit, an officer opens the door, wakes Holmes, and leads her to be fingerprinted and have her mugshot taken. All the while, Holmes is still wearing only a blanket. Holmes's lawyer says every part of Holmes's strip search was illegal. He says state law permits strip searches only of persons suspected of having weapons or drugs, and that they can only be done by officers of the same sex, only in an area where they can't be watched by others not participating in the search.
They had her walking around the whole thing butt naked. That's crazy.
On June 20th, 2015, Charnesia Corley, a 21-year-old college student, was pulled over in Houston for allegedly running a stop sign. After speaking with her, deputies claimed they smelled marijuana in her vehicle, though a search of her car came up clean. At that point, a female officer allegedly slammed Corley, stuck her head underneath the vehicle, and completely pulled her pants off.
What the
naked and exposed in that Texaco parking lot. They then took Corley and placed both ankles behind her ears.
What is she
spread
doing?
Fetal position, and started to search for something in Corley's cavity in
What
her
the
vagina. The probing went on for 11 minutes before she was allowed to emerge from beneath the car and cover up her exposed body.
Nah.
On June 20th,
Man.
2015,
Yo, they get me dumb tight.
running a stop.
Who is that? That's a
college student was pulled over in Houston for allegedly running a stop sign. After speaking with her, deputies claimed they smelled marijuana in her vehicle, though a search of her car came up clean. At that point, a female officer allegedly
Why the f would you do that to another
stuck her
female?
head underneath the vehicle and completely pulled her pants off, leaving her.
And then you in her and all that looking inside her and shit. What type of shit is you on?
And placed both ankles.
You're not even supposed to do that out in the open like that. How you gonna do a strip search on the side of the road?
To search for
Yo, this get me pissed the f off right now, B. Yo, this is getting me tight.
Probing went on for 11 minutes before she was allowed to emerge from beneath the car and cover up her exposed body. The police claimed that they did find drugs and
Where?
faced charges for possession of marijuana and resisting arrest, though these charges were later dropped. But regardless of the outcome, Corley says the search was illegal and is suing the Harris County.
Hell yeah, what the f?
Police need a warrant to conduct a cavity search, and
it's not supposed to be done out in the open?
Be done in a private facility.
Y'all just violated her life. She never gonna be the same after that. Yo, son, yo, and you know how many times in New York I've been pulled over for this, that, and the other. Like a cop, I was driving, and the cop was driving right next to me. This is I was in Harlem one day. You know what I mean? I'm about to make a right turn to get on the bridge to go to the Bronx on like 149. You know what I'm saying? If you know about the hood, you know about the city, you know about where I was at. I'm making that turn, that right to go onto the bridge. You know what I mean? To go to 149, pass by the BJ's and all that, go down 3rd Avenue and all that shit like that. And when I'm making that turn, the cop is turning with me. They pulled me over on the bridge, and he said that when he pulled me over, I asked him what he was pulling me over for, and he said that it looked like you ain't have your seatbelt on. So he asked me for my license registration, and I had to take off my seatbelt to reach into the back seat to get my license registration. Like boom, then right there you realize I had my seatbelt on the whole time. So why are you then asking me for something when I just proved to you that I had my seatbelt on because I had to take it off to even reach in the back seat? But you know, as a cop, they still gonna take my ID and all that time. At this time, I was young. I was still young, so there was a lot of things I wasn't hip to. But I wouldn't have gave him. It would have been a hard time. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a hard time if I just proved you by taking off my seatbelt to go get my ID that I wasn't. You know what I mean? I had my seatbelt on, but. And then when they get into situations like that, they say that, they smell weed or whatever like that. I've been in situations like that where the cops that smell weed, and they ain't give me no cavity search right there on the. No, none of that. And a lot of cops will use that lane to just try to go further, try to feel like they could search you and do all this other stuff. And that's a female. Like females be the worst people. Like you would think it'd be a male sometimes that do you dirty when they got you in their custody, but it'll be the females that do females just as nasty. That shit is crazy, man. It's Jay Blanco. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe to this channel so we can react to all these messed up, crooked cop actions together, man. Comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel, because this really made me feel the type of way. Man. Make sure y'all show love. Give me a like. Help me in the algorithm, all that. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace. Jay Blanco, baby. You know what I mean?
It's movies. It's viral.